Welcome everyone to the first class. In today's class, we are going to discuss about how to create the Flutter project using project IDX. So you have to open that website and then you have to select go to Firebase Studio and then you have to select try Firebase Studio. So it is a Google created platform for web-based IDE applications. So you have to accept the terms and conditions and then you have to select confirm. So this is the GUI for project IDX. So in that you can see we can create many applications using project IDX. So you can see the applications like Flutter, Go, Python Flask, Java, .NET, AngularJS, Android Studio, Next.js, Node.js. We are going to create Flutter project. So you have to type the name of the Flutter. So I am going to type project. This is our project in project IDX. You have to create the project. So project IDX is very useful if you don't know how to install the Flutter and how to set up the configurations in your local machines. You have to use the Flutter web-based IDE, that is project IDX. So project IDX GUI is also similar with Visual Studio Code. So it also contains pre-built emulators for your applications, both Android and web-based emulators. So this is the demo application and this is the demo code for your Flutter project. Also, you can view the application in web. The applications are similar in both emulators. So now we are going to discuss about what are all the important folders and files. So the main Dart file will be stored in library folder. So if you don't know how to open the Dart file, you have to open the library folder. Inside that you can see the main Dart file. And then second important file will be YAML file. So inside that YAML file, we can see all the packages. So if you want to install any packages for your Flutter applications, you have to install in that position. Dependencies, you have to install that. So if your application contains any icons, you have to use that in YAML file. So this is the second most important file. And then third will be Android manifest XML file. So it will be stored in Android folder. Inside that you can see app folder. And then you have to open the source folder, SRC source. And then main folder. You can see the Android manifest XML file. So this is the third most important file. So if you want to add any permissions like read camera, open camera, read external file, write external file, you have to use that. Fourth important file will be build.gradle file. So you have to open that build.gradle. So if you want to change your SDK version, NDK versions, you have to use the build.gradle file. So inside the Android, you can see the compile SDK version, NDK versions, and then default configuration, minimum SDK, target SDK. So you have to change that if your project wants. So if you want to change that, you have to open the build.gradle file. And then last important folder will be your output for your application. So it will be stored in build folder. Inside that you can see the folder application and then output and then Flutter application APK. So inside that the release file will be stored. That will be your output application. Debug file is for the emulator. Release file is for your real world application. So you don't have to upload the debug file in Play Store or App Store. You have to upload only release APK file. So these are all the 5 most important folders and files for your application. So that's it. In today's class, we have successfully discussed about how to create a project in Project IDX platform and how to check the most important files and folders for our project. Welcome everyone to the second class. Now we are going to install the packages for our application. So you have to open the YAML file. So in that you have to type your package name in the dependencies. So first we are going to install the package Video Player 2.9.5. So if you don't know the latest version, you have to copy that and paste that, and then you have to open the Dart packages website. In that you can see the latest version 2.9.5. Also you can see the code for import. So this is how you can find the packages. And then you have to import the second package, file picker, for picking the PDF files from the storage. So you have to type the version for the file picker package 10.1.0. This is the latest version. And then you have to install the packages. So the packages are successfully installed. Now we need to provide the permissions for our application. So you have to open the XML file. In that you have to type the permission code. Users permission, Android, name, Android permission. So the permissions can be read, write. And then you have to type the second permission for writing the external storage or managing the external storage. You have to use the permission. You have to type android dot permission dot manage external storage. So for video player, we need to use the controls like start, stop, pause. For that only we need to use manage external storage. So these two are important permissions. So now we need to import the packages and create the main function for our application. For that you have to open main Dart file. Inside that you have to type the code for import Dart IO, input output, and then you have to import the material Dart package Flutter material Dart. This is the basic package, important basic package. And then you have to import the file picker package or video player package. Video player Dart. And then you have to import the fourth package, file picker. So these four packages are important for our video player app. Now we need to create the main function. You have to type main void. So inside that you have to run the application. For that you have to type run app. And then you have to type the class name, video player app off. So you have to put semicolon. So this is how you can install the package, import the package and creating the main function. In the next class, we are going to discuss about stateless and stateful widget. Now we are going to create stateless widget for our application. So you have to type class video player app extends stateless widget. We need to provide static pages. For that, you have to override. First, you have to override, and then you have to build the widget. Widget build the context of context. Inside that, you have to return material app, and then you have to provide the title. So title can be the web title, can be the application name. So you can type video player app, and then you have to type debug mode will be false, and then you have to create home page. So before that, you have to create theme data dot dark theme. If you want light, you can type light, and then you have to type home. For the page, you have to type local video player off. So it will be our home. You have to put semicolon for the material app. So this is how you can build stateless widget. So stateless is nothing but there will be no change. Only title and then theme and then home page, local video player. So now we need to provide the stateful widget. For that, you have to type class, and then you have to type the home page name, local video player, extends stateful widget, and then you have to override. You have to create state, local video player state, create state of local video player state. So we successfully created stateless and stateful widget for our application. In the next class, we are going to create functions for the video player app. So you have to type class local video player state. So it will be the child class which going to extend the parent class local video player. That will be the parent class. So this is the function we are going to create. So inside that class, we are going to create the variables functions. First, we are going to create the function video player controller. And then you have to create variable for the controller. And then you have to create file, video file, that will be the variable for the video. After that, you have to create function future void pick video. We need to pick the video from the storage. You have to type pick video of asynchronous. Our function will be asynchronous. So inside that, you have to create a variable final result. So result will be our picked video file. And then await, we need to wait for the picking process. file picker. We are going to use the package file picker to pick the video file. Platform, it can be any platform, whether it can be Android, iOS, Windows, Linux. And then we are going to pick the files. So type, if you want MP4, AVI, MKV, you can type the custom types. So if you want all files, all video files, you don't have to type the extension. So for that, you have to type file type dot video. It will pick all the video files. And then you have to provide if condition, if result not equal to null, and result dot files dot single path dot path not equal to null. So if the file is picked, we need to open that. For that, you have to type final file will be file of result dot files dot single path. So we are going to set the picked file. So after that, we need to set the state. After the file is picked, we need to set the state. You have to type set state of inside that you have to type video file equal to file. The picked file will be our video. And then controller equal to video player controller dot file of file dot initialize of. Then value, you have to type the value underscore. And then you have to provide set state. We need to set the state for the controller, whether it can be start, pause, controller dot play. It will play the picked video file. We have successfully set the state for video file and then controller, play controller. So this is the function for picking the video file and playing the video file. And then we need to dispose the output. For that, we have to override at override. You have to create the function for disposing the output file. You have to type void dispose of controller dispose of, and then super dot dispose of. So it will remove the output, exit the output or close the output. So we have successfully created the code. In the next class, we are going to provide the aspect ratio, play, start, stop, record for our video function. Now we are going to discuss about how to provide aspect ratio for our video file. For that, you have to build the widget build video player of we need to provide the aspect ratio. For that, first we need to provide the if condition. If controller is not equal to null and controller not equal to not dot value is initialized, then we have to provide return aspect ratio of aspect ratio controller value dot aspect ratio. Child video player controller so this is how you can provide the aspect ratio for the picked video file. And then you have to, after that you have to create else condition, else return text pick any video file or pick any video to play. So this is how you can provide aspect ratio for your picked video file. So now we need to provide the function for start stop controllers. For that we need to build the widget build controls of if condition. You have to type if condition controller not equal to null, and then you have to type controller value initialized. And then you have to return the container, and then you have to return row. So inside the row we are going to provide start, pause, stop controls. For that, first we need to provide the main axis alignment for these three buttons: children, icon, button, icon, icon of controller dot value is playing. For playing there will be an icon. For stop there will be another icon. For playing, icons dot pause, icons dot play arrow, there will be two icons, pause, play. So whenever you create a button, you have to create a function on pressed. So if I press the button play or pause, it will set the state according to the function. Set state of controller value is playing controller dot pass of controller dot play off. We are going to set the state for pause and play using the controller value. If the value is pause, the video will be pause. If the value is play, the video will be playing. And then you have to create a second button for stop. So you have to create icon button of icon of icons dot stop. So after that we have to create on press event, on press off. If I select the icon stop, the value will be stop or video will be stop. Controller pause off. Both are same, pause and stop. So we have just created the buttons. Controller seek to duration 0. So that's it. We have successfully created the function for start the video, stop the video. Now we are going to build the UI for our application. For that, we have to type override widget build of build context content context. So inside that we have to return scaffold app bar of, we have to provide the title text. So we have to type the app text video player app. And then you have to create body for your application. So if you want background for your app bar, you can type background color colors dot. You can select blue color for your app bar. After that, you have to create body for your application. So body will be center position. You have to create, so you have to create child column. So body will be column. Main axis element. Main axis element will be center. And then you have to create children. Children will be video player. So first the children will be video file. So we are going to provide the text. If the video is not present, we are going to print the text. No video is selected. If I don't pick any video files or no video files present in my storage, it will provide the text no video is selected. For that, you have to provide the size box, height will be 20. And then you have to build the controls. For that, you have to provide the size box, height will be 30. So now we have to create elevated button for picking the video file. For that, you have to type elevated button on press. If I select the button, it will pick the files from the storage. So you have to call the function pick video. So it is the function, and then icon for the button, icon of icons dot video library. So it is an icon for the button. And then text for the button, label text of pick video. So that is the text for the button. So we have created the button for picking the video file. So that's it. We successfully build the UI for the application. First, we have discussed about import package and main function, stateless widget, and then title for the stateless and theme home page, and then stateful widget. And then we have created the variables, functions for picking the video files and setting the controls for the video. And then we are disposing the output functions. And then we have created the aspect ratio for the video. And then we have created starting, pausing, stopping function for the video. Start, stop, pause. At last, we have created the UI for the design. So if you want to run the application, you have to open the terminal, new terminal, and then you have to type 3 codes. First, we need to remove the caches. For that, you have to type Flutter clean. And then we need to install the packages again. For that, you have to type Flutter pub-get. After that, you have to build the application. You have to type Flutter build APK. So it will build the application. So you have to wait for that. If you faces any error like minimum SDK, target SDK errors, you have to change the values from the build.gradle file. So you can see my app is successfully built, and then size of the app 41 MB. So you have to reload your emulator. So output will be present in build folder, app, output, Flutter APK, and then release APK. So you have to download the APK file. So after downloading the APK file, you have to install that APK file in your mobile application, and then you have to check for any errors. For this output, I am going to use my mobile. I am not going to use my emulator for this output because emulator does not show any videos in that storage. For that only, I am going to use that application output in my mobile. So you have to open the application in mobile. So this is the UI for the application. You can see one button, pick video. So after that, you can see there are many video files. So you can see many video files in all format. GIF also will be present in that. So you have to select any one of the videos. So video is successfully playing in the background. So this is how you can build video player app using Flutter.